week. I want to get a sense from you, how important is the security situation when you go to the ballot box tomorrow?
It's super important to me because I actually work down here in Ashkelon as a lacrosse coach, youth lacrosse, and kind of the next generation Dorothy is super important to me. And with the politics and in the security situation down here in the South, it's always on my mind. And it's not necessarily for my best interest. I'm thinking about my players and kind of kids who live in this area. What are they? How are they growing up? What kind of world are they growing up into? And that's kind of what I think about when I go to the ballot.
Jake, so has there been a situation where you were maybe holding a practice or anything like that and rocket alert sirens went off? Because obviously when we're talking about the last round, it was almost constant here in Ashkelon. It's been the target of Palestinian rocket fire for years now, and there's been definitely an escalation as far as Ashkelon is concerned in the last year itself.
Sure. Actually, the very last kind of round of rockets are right in the middle of practice, and how it works down here in the South. For those who don't know, there's shelters, whether it's in the community centers or at bus stops or sometimes next to the field. We ran off, got into the bomb shelter, back out to practice, and then another 2 minutes later, it's kind of back into the bomb shelter again. And at that point, you send the guys home and try and get back out the next day if you can. But again, it's a shame, right, for the kids who just kind of want to take their mind off it, play lacrosse, play any sport really, to have to think about that and grow up like that. So, I do the best I can to, give these guys something to think about for a few hours out of the week, to take their mind off, whatever they're going through.
Jake, so you work with youth. I want to get a sense from you on how much do you see that it's affecting these kids? I know that people live here, maybe they're accustomed to it, but I also understand that it's far from normal. No kid grows up thinking that hearing rockets flying overhead and having to run into a shelter within 3-5 a minute is a normal scenario. So what's your experience as far as getting to know the youth and how this is affecting them psychologically?
Sure. I guess it's kind of twofold. I think the first is any kid who's outside and hear something similar to a siren or, a loud crash, they're almost kind of already running for the shelter. And, call it what you want. I kind of call that a little bit of PTSD, and that ain't right for whatever percentage of that is of youth that live down here. I've read statistics that say 60 to 80%, whether it's right or wrong, it ain't right for 1% to live like that. And kind of on the other half is, in a world, and especially where we live in Israel, kind of here in the heart of the Middle East, we're trying to, find peace, however that is possible. A kid who grows up sleeping in his bomb shelter, is going to have a certain view about the people who are shooting those rockets at him. Again, whether it's right or wrong, that's how he grows up, that's what he knows. So, we need to take some steps in the right direction, and, these rockets certainly aren't helping.
Jake, thank you so much. Of course, you guys, as we heard there, the security situation, the rocket fire from Gaza.